In today's video, we will be taking a look at if Andy Beshear, the incumbent Democratic governor from the state of Kentucky, is able to hold on to his seat as the governor in such a deep red state as a Democrat. Now, back in 2019, Andy Beshear was able to defy expectations, defeating Matt Bevin, the Republican, by less than 0.5 points in a state that is considered highly Republican. It's a state that pretty much always votes for the Republican Party. On a presidential level, it has not really voted for a Democrat in a very, very long time. However, Matt Bevin the Republican did end up losing by around 5,000 votes, an extremely close margin, but still, him as the incumbent actually lost. Now we have to go back to 2015. Matt Bevin won the seat against Jack Conway, the Democrat, but he was not really the most popular Republican. Even in 2015, Matt Bevin was only able to win by about 8 percentage points. Now, why was Andy Beshear the candidate in 2019? Well, we have to go back another 8 years to 2011. That is when Steve Beshear, his father, Andy Beshear's father, was able to get reelected for a second term as the governor of Kentucky, and he was first elected back in 2007, defeating the incumbent by more than 17 points. And Steve Beshear was really popular. You can see that as a Democrat, he was able to win the deeply conservative state by quite a significant margin. Which brings us to 2019, where the Beshear name really helped carry Andy Beshear to pretty much dominate in the state as a Democrat. He was able to win by a very tight margin. If we look at the precinct results, again, you see a lot more red, but the Democratic cities of Louisville really helped Andy Beshear end up narrowly winning. And he was able to do very well in areas that are traditionally have a lot of blue dogs, which are people who have moved away from the Democratic Party on the presidential level, but still have a Democratic affiliation on the party ID level, to the point that they still voted for Andy Beshear, the Democrat, on the governor's level. Now, Andy Beshear in 2019 actually defied expectations. If we look at the polling numbers, again, on the predictions here, both the Cook Political Report and Inside Elections had this race as a toss-up, but Sabato's crystal ball had this as a lean Republican seat. Now, if we look at why that is the case here, Beshear led throughout most of the campaign, but it tightened right around when the election was supposed to be held in place, which made many people believe maybe Andy Beshear was going to lose, but he actually soared to victory, though by an extremely narrow margin. And in fact, part of that was because Matt Bevin was not popular. Despite being the incumbent, another Republican took away 39% of the Republican primary vote, suggesting that really that was also part of the reason why Matt Bevin was not able to win re-election against a Democrat in the state that Trump won by 25 points in the prior presidential election. Now, if we look at just the predictions right now, however, they tell a far different story. As of right now, Sabato's crystal ball and the Cook Political Report both have this race actually as a lean D race, while Inside Elections has this as a toss-up. Again, this is not necessarily the most definitive results because, again, U.S. elections change pretty rapidly. However, still, that doesn't change the fact that Andy Beshear is actually in a pretty good spot according to the predictions. In terms of the polling, again, we don't have many polls, but it does seem like Andy Beshear, out of the polls that were taken, could actually have a very good shot at winning re-election. Nothing is certain in a U.S. election because things, again, change really rapidly, but it doesn't look that bad for the incumbent. Now, this race, can Republicans find the perfect candidate that can resonate with both blue dogs and the Trump base? At this point, if Republicans are able to do that, maybe they will end up winning the state, but right now they don't have that kind of an option. And as of right now, I think Andy Beshear is definitely still favored, although by a very narrow margin. In this map, this is how I expect the 2023 governor election in the state of Kentucky to end up looking on the county-wise level. You can see that there's still a lot of red. The vast majority of this map is red, but Andy Beshear does end up winning because, again, Louisville, this is Jefferson County, Kentucky, and Fayette County, Kentucky. These are two Democratic centers which have the most population, especially Louisville, which is also Jefferson County, Kentucky. So at the end of the day, I think this will be a very, very close race. And turnout will definitely be lower than the numbers projected, as 2020 was a high record, really high turnout election. Nonetheless, I think at the end of the day, it looks like that Andy Beshear might just end up winning another narrow re-election, just like his father. But all that being said, his father did end up winning by a much more significant margin. Anyways, thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.